So as we know, uh, the last conversation we had, uh, just to remind, there's no class next week. Okay, so we don't have any class next week. It's a spring vacation, so we won't be meeting next week, but we'll be meeting the week after. Um, have you guys been following the news with what's going on with the tariffs? So, our president Donald Trump uh, put a hold on reciprocal tariffs for 90 days, except against China. He still has tariffs on China, and China doubled up on the tariffs against the U.S. The markets have been crazy, right? In fact, some people are accusing Donald Trump of rigging the markets, insider trading, because of comments he made, saying that now's a good time to buy his stock. And then right before he said that, he released the news that he would put a hold on tariffs, which caused the stock market to jump up. Then he's made comments publicly about how much money people made thanks to him. So, uh, who knows what's going on, right? People making money, people losing money. It's all crazy. But there's definitely no class in the system in terms of how people should handle themselves. So for now, and yeah, gold dropped and gold is up now. It's almost 3,200. It's like 3,100 something. Uh, I don't know how many people here have an iPhone. Anyone here has an iPhone?
I do.
Okay, so
Yes, I do.
where's your iPhone made? Do you know where
China.
it's made in China? Okay. So, what happens to the cost of your iPhone if we have increased tariffs against China?
The
It,
next iPhone is going to be $3,000.
That's exactly right. This is going to be crazy. Okay. So if you look at your household, look at how much stuff is, if you can, how much stuff is made in China, right? Things you don't even realize. You could you can make a laptop, and there could be parts and pieces of that laptop that are made in China, and other parts and pieces that are made in other countries. So having reciprocal, China's not going to back down. All right. China is in a very different financial place than it's where it's been over the last 40 years. China doesn't need to placate to the U.S. Uh, it has other alternatives. It's one of the manufacturing hubs of the world. Has other markets that the U.S. is not as friendly in, like Russia. China can do business with Russia, no problems. They have no issues with doing business with Russia, no sanctions. Um, you know, uh, of course, it's going to hurt China, but China doesn't care because it doesn't want to be bullied. They don't want to be bullied, right? So the issue between China and the U.S. with the tariffs, it's not going to end nicely unless Trump backs down, which is what he'll probably do at some point, right? He's blowing up his tariffs, maybe because he's got a group of insider guys gaming the system and he's putting tariffs, dropping the economy, they're shorting the market. He says, "Oh, I'll pull back the tariffs." The market jumps, and who knows what's going on? You know, collusion, lots of collusion, and regardless, though, this is going to cause a lot of inflation. So the price of your goods that you depend on as an American citizen will increase in price dramatically in the coming into over time. Okay, that's going to happen. Even if he pulls back on tariffs, the damage has been done. The damage has been done in terms of our relationships, our global relationships, uh, supply chain. What if he puts tariffs again? He's 4 years in presidency. What if he puts tariffs on again? Those are questions people are going to say. Well, what if he just does this again because he feels like he should do it again and causes another issue? People will start to, businesses will modify their supply chains to adjust for the uncertainty of the risk factors of a president-elect who I mean, this isn't like something this was outlined in his strategic plan. In fact, Kamala Harris reviewed and discussed this plan during her presidency run. She went over this. So these things are not surprises. This is what he said he would do. If you look at his presidential outline, he would do all this. So it's not a surprise. Some people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's a surprise." This is what his agenda was: sell gold cards to overseas people, place tariffs. This was his objective. So a lot of uncertainty that will cause changes in how businesses, maybe who they sell to, who they don't sell to. Uh, if he puts a hold on the tariffs, what if he decides to put them back? What if he puts a hold on them again? These decisions make huge impact on the price of goods. And if you're living paycheck to paycheck, what are you going to do? Buy a flip phone? Your flip phone's still going to be double the price. If it's someone made in China or whatever. So that's current events as to what's going on. Uh, I feel that this is not over, and that even though he's pulled back on some of the tariffs, uh, the reciprocal tariff with China is going to hurt. It's going to cause a lot of inflation. So today, by the way, just a reminder, okay? If you haven't done so yet, don't forget about your discussion board assignments. So you have your Connect assignments, which is the McGraw-Hill online textbook. If you have not set up your textbook or don't know how to set up your textbook, or still not on ball with that, send me an email. I had a student request private time with me to help him uh, figure out how to get his all of his assignments set up, where they are, because he was struggling. So if you're struggling, let me know, right? If you're not sure what to do, what's going on, let me know. I will just briefly go over where you should be, what you should be doing. Okay. So as far as the weeks are concerned, uh, just to pull up the calendar, if you go to content on Brightspace, we are currently in the 11th week. Okay, so we're in week 11, but because uh, we have a spring vacation, week 11 is almost 2 weeks long on your Blackboard, your Brightspace, excuse me. We don't use Blackboard anymore. So so this week 11 goes all the way till April 20th. So remember, in week 12, which is not next week, but the week after next, because of the vacation time, that is when you will be able to submit your research project, your career research project. So that is when the career research project is due, is in the 12th week, which is 2 weeks out from now. Uh, week 7 has all the information on that assignment. So if you go to week 7, which is the week before your midterm, you will see the the uh, the Word document that you can download that has all the questions. You can complete that in a weekend, maybe quicker, to be honest with you. You could Google resumes and things of that sort of the job you're interested in, and you'll find most of the answers on that resume. So you could knock it out pretty quickly. You submit that in week 12. So that's your career research assignment. You have your weekly Connect assignments on the McGraw-Hill um, webpage and book that you have. Uh, discussion board is on Brightspace. So go to Brightspace, go to your discussion board, look at your discussion boards, make sure you do those posts. That's actually an important part of your participation credit, and it's an important part of your classwork as well to do the discussion boards. Because the discussion boards, if you look at the discussion boards, uh, they're questions from your textbook. They're actual material from your textbook. So completing it is sort of showing me that you're actually understanding what's going on in your textbook, the material that's being done. And then the last thing is the SIMnet, right? So SIMnet is not connected to Connect. It is a McGraw-Hill uh, based program, but it's not linked to Connect. So it's a separate set of assignments. I think it's $43, a separate fee. It teaches you how to use Excel. SIMNet's been open for some time now. If you log into SIMNet, you're not able to find my class, email me, uh, and I could pull you into the class. Just when you're searching for classes, you choose the BMCC link, and the BMCC link you could choose a school. If it's Fitterman or Chambers Street, because our class is assigned to the CUNY in the Heights location is not assigned to Fitterman. It's not assigned to Chambers. You have to choose. I think it's like reference or something. Like it's like a non. It's like an alternative choice. It won't say CUNY in the Heights, and you choose that generic location, and then you type in my last name Washington, and you'll find our class. This is spring 2025 CH-01. If you don't know how to do that, it's too hard. Not sure how to find my class. As long as you register for SIMNet, just shoot me an email. My email is on the front page of Brightspace on the right hand side with my picture of my face. I could drag you into my class as long as you paid for the SIMNet. So what you have to do: connect, SIMNet, discussion board, and your your career research project. The midterm was due in week 8. If for some reason you didn't do the midterm, you can still go back and take it. It's open to take. So just take the midterm. It's almost 25% of your grade. The career projects are 20%. The final is 25%. So just to kind of break it down, midterm, final, career project, 75% of your grade. Okay, pretty much. So the discussion boards and the connect and everything else is the other 25%. So if you're doing the discussion boards and the connects and you're showing up to class, like you're showing up to class right now, but you didn't take the midterm or you're not doing all that stuff, that's a big part of your grade. So make sure you take the midterm, take the final, uh, do the projects. You don't have to get perfect scores, just make sure you complete everything. So, any questions on that? You guys have any questions on any of the work that needs to be done? Any questions on what needs to be done? If you do, say something now. If not, I'm going to continue on with our chapter 13. So, chapter 13 deals with marketing. Marketing is pretty important because how do you get products marketed to individuals? Marketing is very different now. How we market products today is not how we marketed products 30 years ago. You know, everyone has access to almost everyone has access to a cell phone. Cell phones are like little mini computers now. And 30 years ago, you couldn't go surfing on the internet like the way you can now. Back in 1990, you weren't you had like dial up. There was no iPhone, smartphone. Uh, People called you, sent you mailers, television ads, radio ads. Now you've got these. You could make your own website. You could make your own uh, channel. You could have your own Instagram page, and you could be having millions of people watching you, and you're just a person, right? And you're selling things, or you're an influencer. Marketing is totally different, but the science of it's the same. Okay, the definitions of what we're discussing are the same. So while how we market and reach people's attentions have changed dramatically in not a lot of time, the science of marketing is pretty much identical. So what we're learning here is not necessarily outdated. It's sort of the essence, the quintessential essence of the definitions of what constitutes marketing, right? So the definition here, as you see, is marketing. Uh, how we do it is one thing, but what it is the same, right? And these are marketing errors, which I would argue, we might have another chart in 2040, and it's a different chart. But this is historical in terms of the style of marketing or the type of marketing, right? So this is just stuff that'd be on your exam, your final. What is the production era of marketing, the selling era, the differences in those definitions, the customer relationship era, which you see this is very much still very relevant. Learning as much as possible about customers and doing everything you can to satisfy or exceed their expectations. The deeper knowledge you have about your customer, the more you can provide to them, which is true. I would also say that part of knowing about your customer is understanding their pain points. What are their problems? What are you trying to solve? Right. So if you don't understand the pain points of the customer or the challenge of the customer, it's going to be a hard time understanding what their needs are. Does your product solve that need? Does it, you can create a need too. Maybe it creates a new need for an issue that's systemic. So mobile on-demand marketing era. So I was telling you is, eras change. On-demand marketing era. As digital technology continues to grow, consumers' demand are expected to rise in the now. So this is how they sort of define today's era. The now. Consumers want to interact anywhere, anytime. The can I. They want to use information in new ways that create value for them. The for me. Consumers expect personalized experiences. And simple. Consumers expect all interactions to be easy. Right. I don't want to say it's a dumbing down, but uh, the more instant, quick, and easy something is better. If I give you a video to watch that's 5 minutes, you probably won't watch 5 minute video. Right? If I give you a 59-second video, you might watch a 59-second video, right? The video doesn't capture your attention in 2 seconds, you're not going to watch it. This is how it is, right? So our attention spans are shrinking because the amount of data that we're being flooded with is so much data so quickly, changing rapidly. And then even the videos you watch, which you may or may not realize, the style of the editing, it's cut. It's like this jerky cut editing because of how it captures your attention. It's like it's so ADHD. Uh, People say it's screwing up our generation, next generations, but it's all marketing. It's all attention based. It's a different thing, you know. If you get a piece of mail that comes to you in the mail, you open up the mail and look at it, right? You read it. It's different than watching a little clip or it's not visual. So how you capture someone's attention, what type of attention they get is different. If you get a piece of mail, you're going to look at the mail and try to understand what the hell is this? Is this a bill? Do I owe money? What is this? So you're spending time trying to analyze and understand what's in front of you. When you're scrolling through your phone, you don't care. It doesn't matter. I could just flip the phone off and move on. I just change swipe up, swipe down, swipe left, swipe right. It's very different. So if you get a piece of mail, you're trying to figure out, is this a bill or is this an advertisement for car insurance? It's actually forcing you there's a lot more intention involved in opening up a piece of mail versus your phone. So how you capture someone because of where your attention is very different. So the marketing strategies for this era are very different. And unfortunately, it means that what captures your attention is not necessarily good because of the methodology of how they're capturing your attention, right? They're capturing your attention because you see it all the time. They put some weird picture or something to capture your attention. You look at it, right? Because that's what they do. I don't think it's sustainable. Not sustainable in that it's something that's worked, but I just think it works, but I just think there's a lack of ethics and morality in terms of Uh, it's like the human body is a machine. It's wired to function a certain way. You know, you have visual systems, you have stimulus systems. So you have these like weird jerky cuts and things because of how your brain functions, and that's how you're now programming your brain to absorb information. And then if I give you a book and say you need to study this, you're like, I can't read this, professor. You sit, I know you guys. You're sitting there in front of your textbooks. You sit there, you look at it for a couple of minutes, and you walk away and jitter off somewhere and come back to it and say, oh, I can't read this. I can't focus because our brains are so ADHD. So it's not programming us to help our ability to focus. It's deprogramming us, uh, in a bad way. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I love technology. I'm a huge proponent to technology, the future. More technology, more future is better. That's how I am. But it's there has to be a good component to it. So this is the current era of marketing that we're in. Okay. Just be mindful of what you're being, what's attacking you. All right. What I mean to say is, you know, they're trying to get your attention. Be mindful of the machine, the beast that the beast of the system. Like this is they want your attention. They want to sell you crap. They don't care about you. That's just the way marketing is. No one cares about you. They care about the bucks in your pocket. That's business. Unfortunately, be aware of what's being put in front of your eyes. Be aware of how it's affecting you. Be aware of the tactics or strategies. Just don't be a consumer or participant. Don't be someone that's sitting in the audience of a play, watching the play, right? Go behind the scenes, look behind the curtain, understand what's going on. Because I'm telling you, uh, it's not always a good thing. Like if you look at the technology, it's not on the documents here, but they have entire databases. Uh, they store your data. So you log into a computer, your ISP, um, your data information when you log in, your computer, your phone. They have databases, warehouses of databases, back databases where they store your data. They store your information. They look at everything you go on, what web pages you go on, what you looked at, what you clicked at. It takes that data, it compounds that data, it analyzes that data, and it creates a marketing profile. So if you're looking at things you shouldn't be looking at on the internet, they know. And they say, okay, this guy likes this girl likes that. How do I sell stuff to her? That's what they do. And they save and you don't have control over that data, right? That's stuff that you're on TikTok or whatever, this taking your information. That's why it's free. It costs billions of dollars to make these online systems. They take your data. And you have computer software engineers and data analyst engineers, and that's what they do is they just collect your data, they manage your data, they reference your data, they share your data, they sell your data to market to you. So there's no privacy. That's marketing, right? So just be aware of that. Just be aware. Don't pretend. Don't act like this is all cool, fun stuff. It's business. So anyway, I want to focus on marketing mix. Marketing mix. This definition says the ingredients that go into a marketing program, also known as the four P's. So the four P's is very fundamental to marketing. You can break down a lot of marketing strategies, the sort of like the bare bones by the four P's: product, price, place, promotion. So here, marketing managers must choose how to implement the four P's of the marketing mix: product, price, place, promotion. The the goals are to please customers and make a profit. So in the example you see here, marketing mix, you see the product being makeup, right? The price, then the place, and then the promotion. So if you take today's era, how is this the same or how is this different? They're selling you the same crap, right? The Kardashian is selling you some garbage eyeliner, some junk is garbage, is made. If you look at the ingredients, guys, and I said this in class, live class last time, some of the stuff, there's some of the stuff in their makeup. It's not even legal to sell in other countries, certain countries, because those substances are banned. They're hormone disruptors, endocrine disruptors, illegal to use, it's illegal to sell in the U.S., but not necessarily in other countries. So it's a crap garbage product. Okay, but people are buying it, right? So that there's a price attached to it. They do market research to figure out the appropriate price for the product based upon consumer demand, consumer expectations. Okay. Then the place. Where is it being sold to you? Right? How's it being sold to you? How's it being promoted? Instagram, where? At billboards. So place and promotion are important because those aspects are changing or have changed. For you guys, it might not be changing. You might seem normal to you. But for someone with gray hair in their head, these things have changed. How? You can go to a CVS or something, and there's a whole makeup section, right? Very traditional. The place is the same. You go online, buy direct. You could buy direct from Instagram influencer or something saying, buy this. This is what I use, and I do makeup tutorials. This is what I use. Go to this website. Here's my gift promotion. Buy makeup 4442. Use that to get 25% off, right? And it's all virtual. Promotions virtual. So marketing mix doesn't change. Product, price, place, promotion, same thing, right? This gives you an idea of crafting your marketing strategy, right? But then the individual parts and pieces of the product, price, place, promotion, that's where you kind of go into the research and the understanding of that. So this marketing mix is very foundational for building on a marketing plan. And then you go deeper into each individual aspect, right? So product, the marketing process with the 4 Ps. So here's a little chart that shows an example: find opportunities, conduct research, identify a market, design the product, and then you do product testing, and then you determine a price, a place, distribution system. Could be more than one places, right? And then the promotion, how you design your promotion to promote that. And then, of course, build a relationship with your customers. This right here, this may come somewhere else in the marketing mix, because maybe I'm an influencer, and the relationship you have with me as an influencer online is what determines the promotion, the place, how you buy it. Maybe it's in a store, but you're not buying it in a store because of the relationship that you built with the customer. The product, excuse me, the product, the developer of the product may not have the relationship with the customer. The relationship with the customer may be from someone else, but then you build a relationship with the customer from their referral. So that's important to understand. You guys have any questions just before I jump forward? So a lot of this is essentially what I just discussed, but this is about secondary data, primary data, the definitions of collecting data. A lot of marketing, guys, is not flashy, pizzazzy, sell you this, sell you that. It's kind of boring, research-driven material. Okay, your research, you're trying to understand your customer, so you gotta do market research. All right, secondary data is information compiled through others and published research in journals. Primary data is stuff that you got yourself. That's you talking to the customers, discussing the customers, interacting directly with the customers. That's primary data. Okay. And then building marketing relationships, mass marketing, developing products and promotions to please large massive groups is a type of segmentation where you're going for a lot of customers. And relationship marketing is where you're keeping individual customers over time by offering them products that exactly meet their needs. You're seeing more of this relationship marketing occurring than mass marketing because of how interconnected we are now with technology. So I'm going to end the class at this time. We will not see each other next week, but we will see each other the week after. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. If you need any help, email me. And everyone have a good rest of your afternoon.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What if we need